The body was already cold when I found it, sprawled across imported marble, blood congealing in the veins of the stone. The chandelier above still swayed, a slow pendulum of guilt. Somewhere in the house a phone rang and stopped, rang again, like it was asking the wrong question over and over. I didn't call anyone, not yet. The air smelled of iron and perfume, her perfume, the kind she wore when she lied. Outside, the world hummed with suburban peace, sprinklers ticking, cars idling, neighbors pretending not to notice the flashing light under her window. It was a clean death, too clean, which meant it wasn't spontaneous, it was staged. I didn't need a badge to know this was murder. The details told me themselves. The wine glass on the right when she was left-handed, the smudge of lipstick too high on the rim, the photo frame turned face down. Everyone around her would have motive. Her husband with the secret account, her assistant with the forged signatures, her so-called friends with their curated empathy. I watched them all. Every twitch, every silence. Truth isn't loud. It whispers, cracks through the small things. Timestamps that don't match, a smile that comes too fast, a story told twice with a different ending. I didn't want to believe what logic suggested, but logic never lies. People do. They called it grief. I called it guilt. The husband's voice trembled at the wrong words. The assistant's eyes flicked toward the study every time the police mentioned records. And me, I started to feel the air thicken around me, like someone else was watching the investigation unfold, waiting for me to stop digging. The closer I got, the more deliberate everything seemed. Not random, not impulsive, planned, personal. The files she'd kept hidden in her desk weren't about love affairs or debts. They were about contracts, government ones, buried deals. She'd uncovered something worth killing for. And the man who signed them? He was sitting in the next room, offering condolences. It was a flash drive, not a confession, that told the story, found taped beneath her vanity drawer, labeled with her handwriting, "If anything happens to me." Inside were recordings, late-night calls, voices I recognized, men who spoke in coded language about funding adjustments, quiet removals, and oversight cleanups. The last voice was hers. Calm, controlled. If I go down, I won't go alone. That was her mistake. Thinking power would flinch. It never does. The man at the center of it all wasn't her husband. It was his superior, the one shaking hands on Capitol Hill while someone bled in his district. I didn't scream when I realized. I just sat there, listening to the sound of her death playing through government-issued speakers. I didn't go to the police. They already knew. I went to the press instead, quietly, methodically. I sent the files, the recordings, the timestamps, and one photo, her body, under the chandelier, eyes open, unafraid. The story went live at 6 a.m. By noon, the senator's office was sealed. His statement came hours later, denial wrapped in polished language. But the internet doesn't forget. He tried to call me once. I didn't answer. Justice doesn't need noise, just exposure. Watching his career unravel felt colder than I expected. Not satisfying, just inevitable. The truth, once released, has no owner. It devours everyone. I left the city before the hearings began. The suburbs went quiet again, like nothing ever happened. Her house sold in a month. A new family moved in. I still see the headline sometimes. Senator implicated in AIDS murder cover-up. People call it justice. I don't. Justice implies balance, mercy. What happened was subtraction. One more powerful man erased by the truth he tried to bury. I keep the flash drive in a drawer I never open. Not as proof, but as reminder. That night taught me one thing. Justice was never about mercy.